What's up, guys? I'm just a gamer and I'm back with more Elden Ring. This video is gonna be a bit different. Honestly, it's a bit of a mess. Uh, when I started or when I thought I was recording, I didn't realize that OBS had crashed and it hadn't been recording anything at all. And then I was having problems, getting it ready and going. And even when after I did all that, I still kept it still crashed, and I didn't realize for almost the entire time I was playing. Thankfully, I was able to save quite a bit of my playthrough through the PS5 save feat save clip option. So I actually did get a majority of my playthrough, if not, I believe all of it. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and like show my playthrough and just talk and say what I was thinking and all that stuff. Word of warning though, again, because it came straight from the PS5, the audio is not great. You can hear constant clicking of my finger movements because the PS5 mic, it wouldn't capture my voice, but it would capture my finger movements for whatever reason. It was, again, it's a total mess. But yeah, hopefully this will be the only time it happens. And if anything, this is probably a shorter video than all the others because I'm probably gonna try to cut it down to just all the major segments so it doesn't get bogged down with just me talking and me saying nothing for long periods of time. But yeah, sorry again, sorry for the inconsistent video quality and all that. And please bear with me. But let's just get into it. So last we left off, we were actually in Castle Morn, and I had pretty much just gone through the whole castle, or I blitzed through the castle, and I got to the boss door, and that's when I realized the system had crashed and had not been recording, and I basically lost all that footage. And then so I started to, I thought I was recording again, and I decided to go back to Stormvale because my buddy told me about a secret that was back down in a certain areas that I never got to. He told me how to get to it, and I wanted to check it out. So right now you're just seeing me. I was in the round table, and I'm going to Stormvale to go to the secret my buddy told me about. So that's where we're picking up from. And again, you can hear me breathing and mostly and my finger movements, but for whatever reason, the mic didn't capture my voice. I mean, you could barely hear my voice, and I have no idea why. It's really weird. Always roll through things just to see if there's anything behind them. This jump scared me. For whatever reason, I was thinking I was gonna either overshoot it or just get to uh, go short. And then here I found Golden Rune 2, which I actually need to level up my broadsword, the magic version of it that I have. I was missing level 2, and I found some. This was such a big whiff. I meant to get both of them together, but as you can see, I totally whiffed it. And then here, I kept hearing stuff being thrown at me, and I was like, where is it coming from? I didn't understand what I was hearing. And then finally I looked up and I was like, oh. They came from this little room here. I didn't even notice it. I literally walked right by it. So yeah, this took me a little while to get to because I kept trying to grab it and it wouldn't let me. It kept alternating between the blood stain and the sign there. And then I saw this guy jump off and I was like, oh no. But it was actually really easy. It was just a little love tap and I was able to get on pretty quickly. So that guy falling was kind of like, oh, well, he just overshot it. And this right here was a little shortcut. It was a door that we couldn't open before, so a nice little shortcut. And I noticed right away that there were like the bad things were hanging there. At first, I didn't recognize them. I thought they were spider stuff, but then I was like, oh wait, no, they are the bat stuff. And I was trying to get an angle on the one right here, but he saw me, little bastard. Now at this point, I knew what was coming because again, my buddy pretty much told me what was down here. He let me know that it was another one of the bosses that I fought, the ulcerated tree spirit. But this time, it was just a regular ass enemy, and he pretty much ruined the fact that there are more of these out in the world. On the plus side, I was able to take this thing out without dying, and it does give you a golden seed. So I was happy about that. Also, I totally looked out there. I thought that thing caught me. I totally missed the freaking visceral here. So angry. And we take it down. And it gives us a golden seed. Now, my buddy was telling me that apparently this is an alien, an Easter egg, or I don't know. I told them not to say anything more because I wasn't sure if that meant anything, but he basically said this is supposed to be an alien. So, yeah. That weird squid face thing is supposed to be an alien, apparently. Finally, after a long ass climb, this thing pops us out right basically where we I think it's this yeah, this is a drop off point where the grafted scion and the two giants are. But I said screw that and I just teleported. From there I went back to this spot because I had missed that item across. Which turns out to be nothing special really. It's just another one of those Aria flowers, Aria lilies. Yeah, Arteria leaves, that's what it was. From there, I teleported back to Morn's castle because I wanted to check out one of the routes I didn't take. In the lost footage, I just ran straight through, straight ahead, and there's actually have for better lack of I don't know his name, a pumpkin head enemy. You can kind of see him here from here, and I basically just ran right past all of that. I passed him, and there's a ladder, and I took that up, and it took me to like a faster route to or like going towards the boss. As you can see this time, instead I selected to go to the right and check out this path that I had missed before. But yeah, dude, the counter for the great sword is not great. I've seen my buddy do the counter attack and yeah, the regular broadsword, and it's so much faster that it's super good. But for great swords like mine and other ones, I think they're just too slow. The counters are just way too slow, and if you do get them off, I don't think they're ever really worth it. And this surprised me. I completely missed the regular soldier, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I then they started fighting, and I was like, "Oh." Which was pretty awesome because it led up to the noise of or I kept hearing up top, and then I saw all of this, and I was like, "Oh, this is not an isolated incident. They are just going at it." So yeah, this is when it really hit me that there are multiple types of torches because I came across a beast repellent torch in with one of the merchants, if I recall, and this one is a steel wire torch. And it actually does more damage, and it scales differently. I think it scales with dex. At the time, I didn't realize it, but the torch is heavier, so I'm actually going to be fat rolling, and I didn't realize that. I don't realize it until later. But yeah, if I would have ran straight through like I did in the lost footage, I would have taken a ladder that would have taken me to that exact same spot I'm about to drop down in. It's, again, I try the guard counter, but it's just too slow. But yeah, this is the ladder I took if I would have went straight ahead. It takes me a minute to remember. I'm like, oh, to recognize it. And this is when I actually noticed the pumpkin head. Really, the only reason I would want to get to FP 100 is so I can try to summon Oleg that night. Because for him to be so expensive, I mean, he's got to be good. Very satisfying. And then I decided to just screw it and take care of all these guys now that I have the wolves out. And then now here, instead of being smart and going towards the boss, I decide to back out and just go somewhere else. For whatever reason, I don't recall. I ended up teleporting back here because I realized that I had missed a grace at that castle up there, and I run into this guy. Which I decide to just love tap him a bit, or try to love tap him just to see how much damage I can do to him, to see if it's worth trying to fight him. But I absolutely suck and miss completely every single swing. And then I try to track the body, and I still miss. Like a dumbass. Finally, here I get a few hits in, and While not terrible, I figured that'll take way too long. So I decided to just dip out, head towards this castle where I missed this grace. And here I check out the magics and I notice that there's way more possibilities here. The one on the island only had the first two, if I'm not mistaken. And this one, it gives you like 5 more options, none of which I can use because they all need faith and arcane. Which is a bit of a bummer, but I kind of figured as much. From there, I decided to check this whole area out that I had completely ignored. Like I had just visited all those gray spots, but I've never went farther up to the right. So I wanted to go check that place out, see if I find anything there. So yeah, I never visited this side of this area. Just saw ruins everywhere, and I was like, well, I don't know where I'm going. And right here, I noticed the grace. And then a new NPC who gives you, who can sell you sword arts or weapon arts.
There's a myriad of battle arts in these lands that are mementos of all the warriors who raised their fine tale. That's how I fell in love with the sword. It grants meaning even to.
From there, I'm realizing that there's this whole section here that it shows you automatically, but I have no idea how to get to it. I mean, I'm positive there's a way through the lake. There's probably like an air current in the lake somewhere that can take you to it. But yeah, there's this whole area up there that I have yet to explore that I've probably been able to explore. Not to mention that dark area there. I decided to take on this knight for whatever reason. Knight. This golem for whatever reason. Golem giant. Once again, I find an item for the physics container, which I have yet to go find. I know I bought in like almost every clue I can know each merchant has. Every time they have a clue, I buy it, and I have not been reading them and not been finding these whatever these clues lead to. I mean, I must have stumbled upon some of them by accident already, if I'm not mistaken, or if I'm guessing. But yeah, like I know I have a bunch of clues, one of which is the location of the physics potion or bottle, whatever it is, and I've just not gone to go do it for them because I'm an idiot. This took me by surprise for a second because I was assuming it was a boss or something, but then I was like, oh no, wait, that just means the PvP guy should be invading, or NPC PvP guy should be invading. You got a lucky shot him, but I took out him. And he gave me the Haller Talisman, which I automatically just assumed it's probably just a medallion that augments your hammer attacks. And then that catches my eye. Red globs. At first, I thought they were wolves on fire, and I was like, what? And then after getting closer, I realized they were slugs, fire slugs. I also then see this night guy here, and I saw that he was different looking. And then I whiff completely. And then I see that, and I was like, oh shit. Completely speared me. Thankfully, I was able to just knock him off his horse. Ran out of stamina, which sucked. And he actually dropped a really good skill, the Golden Vow, which I think is the same skill the Tree Sentinel's Halberd gives you, which is not bad considering. This part right here annoyed me. I was so angry with myself. There he was, and instead of getting off the horse and just hitting him normally, I kept riding and swinging like an idiot. And by the time I got up there, he was gone. I was so annoyed. I was like, oh man. Lands, which should be awesome when riding Torrent. but I doubt I'll ever use it. I'm a lance guy. And then, for whatever reason, I decided to just take out this small little encampment. Which isn't too hard because I'm way over leveled for this area. At least that's what it feels like. Looking around for items, and I almost completely missed the chest. Then from here, I decide to go after the caravan that I just never bothered to go get, even though it's been the network test dozens of times and in a bunch of the trailers. But yeah, this is when I finally decided to just go after it. Go after the caravan. As I'm making my way toward where the caravan should be, I run into this guy and completely forget that at night it turns into a boss. A boss that should be easier while riding Torrent, and yet I have the hardest time trying to fight this boss on Torrent. Only after I finally get off Torrent do I actually start doing well. So yeah, despite this fight supposedly being easier with Torrent, it wasn't for me. I had to get off Torrent to finally be able to fight this guy. This little asshole wouldn't go away, so I focused on taking him out first. Yeah, I realized that I'm not doing any damage to the knight. I'm only damaging the horse. I mean, I could have probably just magicked him, but for whatever reason, I didn't think about it in the moment. First time I finally got a stab on a downed enemy. But I beat him, and I got that Ash of War, a thrust. And finally the caravan showed up. I was expecting a whole procession of guys, but I guess at night it's different, where it's only just the caravan. Either that or my game totally bugged out, and they were like way farther behind. So I see the item up there, and then only after getting close to from my side view did I notice the giant flower. And then thinking I was safe, I decided to just pelt it from up top with firebombs. But this giant flower was no slouch. It decided to throw me for a loop for a bit. That's when I said, screw it, run out of firebombs, let's just take him out the old-fashioned way. Thankfully, I still had some of the poison balls that I had made earlier, and those cure poison, so I just figured I'd just tough out the poison and then cure myself. Like so. Bam. Easy peasy. And then after all that, jumping down to get my prize, it's just a Trina's Lily. But I do spot that little dungeon there. And we find Pumpkinhead, again, from the network test. He's actually not that tough, but I just had to call in the wolves anyway. And he interrupts my magic attack at the last second, which really annoyed me. And just like that, he is gone. Here I find the spell lady with spells I can actually use. I ended up buying a good deal of them, and I ended up having a scroll I found. So I ended up giving her the scroll as well, and I mean I buy some more spells from her too. I mean I only have 2 slots, but yeah, now I have a few different spells to try out at least.
Possible, but one must choose one's masters wisely. I was exiled from the Academy of Rhea Lucaria as a reviled, apostate witch. Do you still wish to learn from me?
From there I head back down to the Weeping Peninsula, and I see this candlelight here, and the first time I just ran right by it. No clue that touching it revealed the little ghost guy, and that following him usually led you to something. This here psyched me out because it shows him walking in that freaking direction, but then the footprints go in the opposite direction, and that psyched me out. And I was like, "What the hell?" And he led me to this cave. And part of me knew this was too easy. Part of me knew. And yet I still fell for it. Using the lantern, making things much simpler. And with that, I'm finally able to reach the chest. And it holds nothing really special. I mean, it's still good. The recover stamina, if I'm not mistaken, it's still good. It's just not worth the hassle. And then here I get a little confused and misremember if that was the path I'd already taken, in which case I do remember and I'm like, yep, and I head back. Because I'm a big dum-dum. I'm gonna drop down, which is obviously the point of no return. I go to this cave thinking, ooh, what am I fighting? Where is it? And then I see it, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Is this something I can just sneak past? Nope. It is the actual boss of this cave. And I can't teleport out. So I just sneak back in to the cave. And that's where I left off. So yeah, I literally left off right there in front of the bear fight with a bunch of souls close to a level up. And it really bums me out. I don't want to fight this freaking bear. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So hopefully in the next video, that's where we're going to pick right up. Again, I apologize for all the weird technical stuff that happened for this video. No camera, like no real good audio. And of course, obviously me voicing over all this stuff. Again, apologies. I know it's not ideal. But if you enjoyed this video and if you're enjoying my playthrough, please leave a like or comment down below. I'd appreciate any and all feedback. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, take care and have a good game.